It says you're live. I hope you can hear me. Just did a quick flashback at what kind of podcast I did half a year ago in October 25th, 2020. It was called the V Podcast 4 Role Models. And for some reason, I'm always looking for role models. And I think if you don't stick to the role models too rigidly, if you're flexible and also change your role models from time to time, I think it's okay to have a goal for me. Yeah, for me, like abstract goals aren't really helpful for me. I really need to have like a concrete example. I'm not deduction, but induction is for me the right way, and the practical and the concrete way, not the wishy-washy way. So half a year ago, my role models were still Joe Rogan. I haven't watched Joe Rogan at all, and I also heard now from my favorite podcaster, Owen Benjamin, that Joe Rogan is just deleting everything now that he's not on YouTube anymore, but on this Spotify. I can recommend you. It's basically the music channel of the Twitter trolls. Yeah. So I can't recommend to you Spotify, Joe Rogan. Styx Hexenhammer is kind of plateauing. I really liked him. Like he's really the strongest when there is conflict and when there's controversy. But at the moment, with Sleepy Joe Biden and just still Corona news all the time, Styx Hexenhammer isn't really peaking. But Owen Benjamin, just go to his Telegram channel. Just every day pumping these jokes and these intelligent insights. He's really like a savant. Can also play the piano and sing very beautifully with emotion. Then there's Jimmy Dore. I totally forgot. I mean, it's always like if you're too left or you're too right, if you're just rigid, it just gets boring. Tim Pool, he's been very becoming more and more popular, and he explained to me because there are comedians and like conservative personalities being still censored on YouTube and elsewhere. Tim Pool, as like a middle conservative leftist, he's just getting all the fans from the others who were banned. But Tim Pool, he's like very pessimistic at the moment, and I kind of don't like his vibe. But sometimes he has great guests, so don't focus on Tim Pool himself because he also talks too much on his own podcast at his interviews. Just focus on people who let others talk. Similar like Stricke TV, the Swiss podcaster. Scott Adams I haven't been following, but now that I'm on Locals, Scott Adams is on Locals together with Tulsi Gabbard and Stricke TV. Valuetainment. His name is like Bet David or something, like a stupid marketing guy who also did great interviews like Brian Rose at London Real, but it turns out he had yesterday an interesting podcast with Coffee Zila, who's now together with another podcast. So there's a lot of interesting new podcast systems formats happening, and then they can also expose like the fakeries of those pyramid scheme talkers who, for some crazy reason, they become very popular. I mean, like, I think, yeah, I now have an idea, a reason why these tough talkers, these sellers, they also need to be able to attract and seduce guests. And if you're like really good with calling someone and say, "Hey, come on, it's your chance. Come tomorrow, and you'll get a plus of 100,000 new followers on your account." And if you can really like convince and persuade these pyramid scheme marketing people, then they can also easily become good podcasters, like in the interview style. Okay. Oh yeah, and the reason of this podcast is actually Peterson's book list, and I also got a nice compliment today from a LinkedIn guy who said I'm really a great trend spotter. I call myself absolute trend spotter. Also on Telegram you can find me. And I think the greatest way to find a trend is not to think, just go really like intuitively, instinctively follow the white rabbit. It's kind of like I can say as a general theme, a general state of mind. Kind of, you really have to become like a Zen monk, totally empty, and believe in synchronicities. That's also an important theme that Peterson is exploring, and Peterson really, he's peaking. So the two greatest podcasters at the moment is really Jordan Peterson, I would say, is second, and number one still Owen Benjamin. And yeah, for me as a Swiss guy, actually, number two is Schlicker TV. But we'll see. Number three or number four is Roger Köppel with his Weltwoche Daily. The conservative, liberal journalist, the only journalist who is a little bit COVID measures critical, at least. Huh? So the book list of Peterson, I'll just read it. Number one, of course, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Number two, 1984 from George Orwell. Number three, Road to Vegan Pier by George Orwell. Number four, Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Great way to analyze the psychos that are probably in the elite class a little bit. Number five, Demons, Fyodor Dostoevsky. I missed that. I'm going to read that whenever I get the chance, when I'm motivated. Beyond Good and Evil, Friedrich Nietzsche, also important to realize the good and evil and how maybe close they are together, how they can intermingle, how to discern the good and evil in the world. Ordinary Man. It's about the Nazi killers, the character of the Nazi killers by Christopher Browning. I haven't read that yet. The Painted Bird by Jerzy Kosinski. I don't know. The Rape of Nanking by Iris Chang. Number 10, Gulag Archipelago, Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Number 11, Peterson, very like Russian and this tragic person. No wonder he got so sick. Number 11, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. Now we get a little bit more philosophical. And now Modern Man in Search of a Soul. Yeah. And also this from Carl Gustav Jung, and also his autobiography is excellent. Maps of Meaning, The Architecture of Belief by Jordan B. Peterson. He thinks he's also in the top 15. Number 14, A History of Religious Ideas by Marcia Eliade. He's also very important with the shamanism research. Yeah, I still need to read him. And the last one kind of also shows that Jordan Peterson is very connected with Elon Musk and Joe, not Joe Biden. What's his name again? No, with Joe Biden. Joe Rogan. I'm also like, if I just say Joe Biden or Joe Rogan, I get like stoned right away. Anyway, the last book he suggested, Jordan Peterson, that I kind of see him almost becoming one. We'll see. Jordan Peterson and Owen Benjamin, like a boxing fight would be great. I heard Owen Benjamin and Milo will have or are having also like a dialogue. So we really live in. Did I say the last book? Effective Neuroscience by Jag Pangsip. I'm not sure if I'm going to read that, but surely read more Dostoevsky, The Demons, Crime and Punishment, or Nietzsche maybe. And it would really be great if Jordan Peterson would not only have interviews with his friends and fans, but if you could have another showdown with a feminist or a transgender person or I don't know. He's really fit again. So have a great time. Enjoy all the verbal fights and the signs of courage that we also saw in London and in Rapperswil, I think also in Germany France, Brazil, USA is really like, I think about half of the people really are fed up. So this will be a great 2021 is my trend spotting insight, and we'll see again in a half a year. We'll see again if I was right or not. Peace out.